Hi, I'm still trying to work out my video problems. Maybe I fixed them, maybe I haven't. I don't know yet. Okay, so this is the piece that we're working on. Now, what I'm going to show you is that I've got so far 3 versions of this started, which this one, see, has turned a totally different way. So, a lot of people have had a problem with what I'm doing. And, which has had me worried. Here's the thing. I've heard comments like, well, I want to work on, I've had these, okay, like the flowers in the vase or something, and you're just supposed to put in some shapes, so like that suggests a table. This could be a curtain or something, who knows. I've said it doesn't really matter, just it matters about good shapes and values. Well, that's created a problem, and one of the things I heard was, I want to work on something that means something. This has no meaning. I don't understand what that means myself. So, and then I heard, well, we just like realism. We just want realism. I don't know when we've ever worked on anything that looked real. There's all varieties of things that suggest something to, that are very explicitly careful, but they still don't look like realism to me. So I've been trying to figure this out, and I've decided that part of what it is you mean a thing. You mean, I don't want to work on abstract shapes. I want to make a thing. I think that's what's bothering you, is that this stuff in the background is not something. It's just negative space shapes. I'm going to present this lesson on that premise, hoping that I've nailed it, which maybe I haven't. So right here, okay, you see this flower makes sense right here. This flower looks really strange. It's just the drawing. Look at the center. It looks like this is the center of the flower. Actually, we know the center is back up under here. But that's what it looks like right now. So we're gonna paint that to correct it, because I found that a lot of people working on this had a lot of trouble with it. By the way, this is a background that I tried several things with, and I kept not liking what I got, and now I'm okay with this. By itself, it's probably not a lovely thing, but I think as part of a painting that it might be just kick-ass. Who knows? So let's look at these flowers, because, let's see, I guess I could do this one. This one is probably not one I'm doing in class. Well, if I start, okay, let's start the other thing first. Never mind. Okay, don't think about anything. Wipe that all out. Okay, I have here a container that I think is just too cute. Just too cute for words. I love the shapes in it. I love the little thingy there, you know. I like that it has polka dots. I like polka dots all the time, you know. So, and it's 3 colors. It's got a beige. Well, it's got beige and white. It's got the red with the black, which I'm not crazy about. Well, and here I had, I'm sorry that I kind of give it away because it's already here. Wait a minute, I'll try to cover it up. So, is that in the picture? Yeah. So, here I have the flowers, and I wanted to put something in over here. I got to looking at it thinking, what's something that's lower than the top of this vase, and not as tall as that flower, and not as short as this flower. So, from about here to here. Well, this is too short, okay? But what do? I know what kind of shape I need. That's what's important. It's not a matter of whether I do that container or not. So I took the shapes and I just elongated it. So now it comes down to here and up to there. And I don't have to make it black, or I don't have to have red around there. I can make it anything I want. So I'm going to paint that in later. But what I want to show you is the center of the lily. This one's got a little shading in there, so it makes a little bit more sense than that one. But here we've got the picture of the lily. And let's just paint this. Hold up. Okay, I'm back. So here we go. Here's the thing, if you look at this, we don't have a lot of shadow here. You know, a light source and shadow. The light's coming from this way on the flowers, but it's pretty weak. What we do have is a lot of local color. Well, not a lot, but enough. Let's see, am I in the right place again? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I can't tell. My setup is pretty rudimentary here, so. All right, so what we do have here is local color, and the local color is like contour lines. It's following the shape of the flower, and that tells you where the center is. So you'll see it appear as I work. Okay, paper towel. It's the wrong brand. I picked up the wrong brand here, but don't tell anybody. Okay. So here's down at the, as close to the center as we can see. And we have some yellow coming out this way. And let's just, this one is buckled, so it's a little different to work with. Okay, so I've got it getting lighter and fading out here. Let's just put a little Quin Gold right down in there. We'll just let it diffuse out. Okay. So here's the same thing. It kind of comes down the middle of the petal. Like that. So you're not seeing a lot of line here, but see, you can see a little bit of indication of a direction. And that direction is very important, but that doesn't mean that I have to make it really dark to make it work. Let's see, I'm pulling a little more color up here with my brush. Whoop. Well, maybe I need a little more than that. Let's pull right into there a little bit. There. So we have some direction going on. You'll notice I used 2 different colors of watercolor pencil here. I'm really having fun working this way. I need to illustrate drawing this a little bit more. That should have been the first video. So maybe I'll call this, what can I call this? Lilies in a Vase Part 2, and then I'll do Part 1 after Part 2, because why not? Why not create even more confusion than I already have? Let's see, I think I need a little more Quin Gold here. Okay, so you see that gives the lily some direction. But it's these 2 petals where we could get into trouble, because I've had a lot of people painting them out this way, the same as those, and that doesn't work. These 2 are pointed towards us, and there's very little of the center showing. So look, it's kind of coming out this direction like that. And there's nothing over here. That's the side of the petal. Theoretically, these would have less on their sides too than what I did, but you see what is happening there when I do that? Let's take this one. Oh, I think I went too far with that. Let's bring that just out here. Just a little, like that. Let's fade that. Going that way. So I guess I've just got one line coming out there. Whatever I've got, it's going to work. So you see how these petals, you know, they're folding out this way. Now the flower is starting to make sense, but not quite, because this is still confusing. So we need to put something in there. And actually, I'm going to do a little bit more to this too. So what I have here is a yellow green that I mixed with, I love to use Nicolazo. And that's a little Prussian blue. You could use a lot of things with Nicolazo and it'll make that yellow green. The main thing is to remember, put the Nicolazo out first. Anytime you're mixing a green, put the yellow out first. All right, almost any time you're mixing a green, particularly a yellow green to medium green, put the yellow out first, then add tiny amounts of your other color until you get the green you want. Don't just try to mix half one and then just dump in a bunch of blue to go with it, and boom, you know, you're forever trying to fix it, because it takes a lot more yellow than it does blue. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, so this also has lines in it. Like that. And I may need to soften those or just add a little more. That's not too bad right there. I think I need a little bit more color in here. I think I'm gonna, do something a little bit like that. Okay, so you can see that coming together. It probably needs something a little deeper. Here, I've got a little bit of turquoise back here. Let's just put a little bit right in through there to make it graduate up to here. I may need to add something more to it, but it needs to dry. In the meanwhile, I'm looking at these, and I am also seeing, well, you can see the tips out here. You can see a little bit of green happening right in this area. It doesn't go all the way out the tip, but I'm going to cheat. So I'm wanting to guide my viewer into seeing this as a whole flower, and I realize that if I put a little bit of green there at the tips like that, that's going to signal those lines a little bit more. It shows the growth is this way. I don't know that I even need to do it on all of them. Here I've got kind of a center to that one. Maybe about 3. I think I see about 3 little lines on some of these. Actually, that one probably doesn't belong there. Maybe it ought to be over here. Just a hint. Oh, that's too much. Well, let's soften it. Let's blot it. That's that green pencil there that we're seeing. Maybe just a little hint of something over. Ooh, oh, that's more than a hint. Let's suck some of it up. Okay, so you see the flowers starting to come together. Now, when I get the stamens in, and oh my gosh, do I want pink stamens? What have I done? No, I'm gonna probably use a green pencil here and go over that. And I'm probably going to mostly draw these stamens in just because it's easier. These are green. They're light green. I'm probably going to make a very dark green because I want to really pull these stamens out and put them over the background. I love those long lines, and I want a lot of long, interesting shapes coming out here because it's pretty. And having a dark there kind of pops it a little bit more. So you can see that. Now let's look at this thing. Do I have anything mixed up? No, I do not. I had this that got contaminated and I had to wash it out. This was a purple. I think I'll just use the Prussian blue. Yeah, why not? I want some pretty strong color here. And here's the thing, once I put it down, I may change my mind. And of course, a smart person would have tested it. But, you know, I've been painting long enough, I shouldn't need to test everything. Sometimes I do anyway. Okay, so right here, let's just... Oh, well, that ought to be pretty with this. You know, I may not go super dark with this. And my thinking was, you notice I put this background in first. My thinking was that maybe some of this would show through whatever I did next. I did not know at the time that I did it that I was going to put this container shape in here. I want to be kind of careful about my edges here. So excuse me if I have to turn it a little bit. I am recording, aren't I? Okay. I think some of that's going to show through here, and I may like it this light. I may have to darken it, but I don't have to decide yet. I can decide later on. So I need to move this little dude over and turn it where I can control my brush a little bit better. There's my stem. I don't really need any more textural effects, although I like that. I don't really need much in the way of textural effects because I'm going to put polka dots on this, and I'm just going to do it with something opaque. I might let a little bit of my line show there. My little colored line. Now, what are we going to do when we get down here to this vase that I presume is going to be glass? Well, I'll show you in a minute. But what we need to do is we need this to be dry before we mess with it. I think I mixed just the right amount of paint to do this. Okay, so over here, let's see. Here's right there. here. I think that would probably fill in the whole thing. Yeah, I think it would. Let's go all the way up in there. Okay. And then I'm going to paint the top, but I'm going to get off camera to do that. Save time. Huh. I had every intention of putting a leaf in up here. Huh. It's a little late. I don't know. I wanted a leaf. So they kind of bend over, and so you can't even see that, can you? Yeah, I wanted a leaf there. Well, I marked it in. I may actually lift that out and put a leaf in there. I think it really needs it. Probably needs one down here too. And then it needs one over here. I'm going to start it down in here because I didn't want to get in the way of my stamens because that's the showpiece. That's my favorite part. Okay. That's the way that goes. Yeah, I have to do another video that goes before this video. That was really smart of me. Okay, so this spot right down in here, let's just take our color. I guess that was it. Let's put it in real thin. Oh, well, that's, yeah. In fact, let's just come down like that. And then let's fade it this way. Because when you look through something that's glass, if there's any color in the glass at all, it's more concentrated at where you see the edges, or what you perceive as the edges. So I might do that. And then when that's dry, I'll darken this. In the meanwhile, what about the cap there? I'm just not real excited about what to do with that cap. What if we just put a light blue there and it was just a little bit different? Maybe that won't be different enough. Maybe that'll look stupid. Or maybe something like that. That doesn't look stupid, does it? But that's a little too thin. I don't want to wait for it to dry. So let's put a little more color in it. A little less water. There. You know, wouldn't look too bad if that was... Okay, well, we'll just do this too. It's just a light blue and a darker blue. Yeah, I think I'm going to put masking tape around this and lift it. Okay, so I'm going to get this dry and show you that. And then that's going to be the end of this video. Okay, so now we'll just take a little bit more color. Let's make this, whoa, I've got a spot there I don't like. Just make that weaker like this. But also see that continuation of the shading there makes a difference. So there, that's what I want. Now, something else to show you. Oh yeah. So this is a pretty flat shape, and I might want to leave it a flat shape, but for those of you that don't, I already did a little bit of getting lighter here. But one could always just take a lifting brush or even Mr. Magic and put a little bit of a highlight on there. I mean, you could put more of a highlight on there, but I'm just going to do a little bit because I really like keeping this kind of abstracted, if I dare use that word. Okay, so you can see that has some shape. You know, we've got a leaf in there. I'll do more next time, or I'll do more on one of the others. So, that's the end of Lilies in a Vase Part 2. Okay, that's the end of Lilies in a Vase Part 2.